Hi everyone, welcome back to Hear Our Voices, where we tell stories, give resources, and change the narrative of homelessness. This is your host, Khadija D. Guys, I have not been here for a while. And I know I feel like a couple of episodes ago I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna come to you guys with a lot of different things. But I feel like soon we're gonna have like an influx of people. And if you have one of those influx of people, tell me where you saw me at and how you got to actually know about Hear Our Voices. Because we've been doing this for a while. We have not been growing as much as I thought we would be growing. And it's kind of, sometimes it's very disheartening to do something and it's like, it seems like nothing is paying off with it. Um, but I want people to hear the stories of the people and also people to get the resources for themselves. A lot of times, especially for New York City, well, our waiting list for a lot of stuff is long, to be honest. To get in a shelter that's kind of easier compared to other things that you want to get, like resources wise in New York City. But New York City is very rich with resources. People just don't know enough about the resources to be able to utilize them properly, right? So we are here. Me and my team are here to collect the information and get information to you, right? So we are doing a couple of things. If you would like to work, this is very if you would like to work or volunteer or whatever to help spread the word or help me get information, definitely hit me up and see how you can connect with our group and to see how things are on this other side and kind of thing, right? This is a big like thing to work with, and I have a team, but I don't have a team. Like the podcasting I do, guys, and the recruiting I do. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to be a part of the podcast, we'd definitely love to have you because we need guests, one thing, and also, well, you don't want to hear me talk, do you? Unless you do. I could just make up topics, or you can make up topics. I used to do that with topics, but I also had a guest on it at all times. But I could just talk about, just ramble on about topics and see if you guys like that too. So we could change the format of things. I really could do anything I want to do with this platform, my job. So yeah, so if you have any topics that you would like to see on here, definitely tell me about it. I would love to hear about it and to be able to talk about that topic. And if you want to come on here and talk about a topic, we definitely love to have you. Yes. So, and all follow us on all our social media platforms. Everything will be down link tree down below. And yes, and if I have not given a link tree in other videos, I'm sorry. In other podcasts, I'm sorry. You'll definitely get it, hopefully, in this one. So, this one is particularly, I'm just trying this new out. So, don't shoot the messenger, guys. Well, I'm just trying stuff out. This topic is really about vouchers. And what I want to say about vouchers, New York City has a lot of them. We have FEPS, we have City FEPS, we have SODA, we have Section 8, and we have HASA, and we have, I feel like that's basically, they have HAVP, which from what I hear, from what I know, they didn't start recruiting for that particularly, that voucher as yet. I'm not even sure if they really have the money in hands as yet either. I know the money was allocated for it, but yes. But we have so much vouchers. My question to you, the viewers, the listeners, whoever who's out there in the ether, if you can make an ideal voucher, and I think that's what they try to do with HAVP, which is a housing access voucher. I believe that's what it's. Yes, that's what the acronym says. New York City, I think, in this industry, have a lot of vouchers in general. So, yeah, I think they try to put everybody into that voucher. To be honest, I think probably the closest one I'm thinking in my mind. But what it would be your ideal voucher? If you could pick a voucher that works for you and works for a lot of, like, only just you, people in a whole, what would be in that voucher? So, HAVP, I feel like is not really, is they have people have ideas for it and what they want it to be and really to have a bigger crowd of people in that particular voucher. But I don't think it's put down in stone exactly what it's about, who's going to be helping and who's going to be helping, right? But if you had an ideal for a voucher, right, what would that voucher be? And why would it be that way? Because over the years, like, but when I was in shelter, we had the link, and then it ended up coming to City Faps, and they had a lot of requirements. Like HRA have requirements. Section 8 has requirements. I say Section 8 for one of the vouchers have requirements. All these things have requirements, and because of that, a lot of people are left out of these requirements who feel like they should have vouchers or feel like they need some type of help in housing, especially in New York City, that they're not getting, right? Housing, especially because I feel like landlords know that the vouchers, we fought for the vouchers like increase, and then the landlords are finding this out, so they're saying, oh, it's over the voucher, or they're only picking people with, like, it's really, really hard. Do you think it would be better if people just got cash in hand? And like, my thing is, people need cash in hand. Granted, landlords can also discriminate against you because you're black or because you have kids. These are things have been listed on why people got discriminated against getting an apartment, right? But when you have cash in hand, you can, do what you got to do. But do people think it's going to be that people are not going to use the money for housing when they're supposed to use it for housing, or they're going to use it for something else? I feel like people are both on the fence on both things. Like, cash in hand is the best, but how do you regulate that cash in hand? I think it's a lot of different things. So if you had an ideal voucher, what would you think this voucher will actually be? Like, what requirements do you think you should do? Should be very this voucher should have only people who make under 20%, like 20,000 a year, which honestly, that wouldn't hit a lot of people. Maybe a person who works at a McDonald's, and I feel like even McDonald's, I would think, makes more than that, but I don't really know. I don't know how much they make. I'm not sure if it's minimum wage or not. So yeah. So what kind of requirements do you think? So we could get this kind of chat down below. I could tell you what I personally think, and I feel like people under 100K in New York City, because I can't do everywhere, but I feel like, honestly, this one could probably be for, like, it could be a version of Section 8. Because Section 8, if you come in, like, they have a certain criteria for you when you first come in, but as you start living on Section 8, if your income get higher, you can still stay on Section 8. I wanted the income level to be a Section 8 version, but not be so strenuous. So basically, my version of a new voucher, or just to get a better voucher, is take what we already have and make it better. And I feel like the leading in amount for Section 8 should be a bit higher for one person, two person, three person, whatever the amount is, because they have, every voucher has a requirement of how much you have to make and how it's like based on your family size and things like that. I think especially in this economy, a lot of people are working multiple jobs, and when you do multiple jobs, you're getting much more income than before. But it's like you have to take less jobs or do jobs under the table to qualify for certain things. But we put like 100K, even though if you think about it, if you have 100K and 4 kids, that still might be a struggle. So I think you have to just be reasonable on how we do these things, especially for New York City. Our job market, our minimum wage is higher than, I think, one of the highest in America. Don't quote me on, like, you can quote me on that because I'm saying it and you heard me. But some places still have, I want to say $7. Like, I heard it the other day, like $7. I remember when I was a kid. Like, that's what I feel like. But I could be totally wrong. But so even upstate New York has a different like amount compared to New York, from what I understand. So New York City and New York State is two different, like, worlds. Technically, New York City is in New York State, but it's just the city has it's a different world here. And the concrete jungle is definitely different than the whole state, right? So tell me who you think should qualify for it. Personally, I think people who are retired should get it. And I mean the people who retired early because of sicknesses or just retired on a whole I personally think should get automatically in there. A person with disability, because they went through SSDI, should automatically get it. If you know this person has certain limitations when they're young, why are they not on for the rest of their life? Because this illness is going to take them throughout the rest of their life. Why are they not always having assistance? Certain things I just don't get how the system has failed the people. Because the people hasn't failed. The system has failed the people every single time. And it's very, very sad if you think about it. So, I think people with disabilities, parents, until a child is at least 18, should probably be 24, because honestly, these kids are not getting out. And because they can't afford out there unless they go away to school, that's just the way it is. So 24, and I think that's when you could have I think you have the kids on taxes on until that age, I believe, on your taxes or for financial aid stuff. 24 is like, I believe, the age, unless they changed it recently. I heard something with insurance the other day about this. So I'm not sure if the age went up or whatever. So personally, I feel if you have a kid under 24 who's still living with you, if you're not living with you, then that's definitely different. Any foster care children should automatically get it until they get on their feet. A lot of times people are taking foster care kids, and when they're 18, when the check has fell, and I think is it 21 with disabilities? I could also be wrong. Don't quote me on that particularly thing. And also every state is different based on this. I'm just trying to do a thing about New York City, and I haven't got any foster care stuff updates in like over a year and a half. So don't kill me with that one. But I think all foster care kids coming out of the system, which New York City does have a plan for this, but I think what it is, a lot of kids don't know that's happening, or they know about it and there's just not enough housing to go around because they don't have enough vouchers for youth in general in New York City. So I feel like it to be more options that way. I feel like people who are 18 who wants to move out their parents' house should get opportunity to get a voucher to go somewhere and live like a Section 8, like a youth Section 8 version, They get it to 18 to 24, and that could help them stay on their feet if they want to do that. Some youth actually want to be buddied up with a roommate. That might be a thing, but it still be something to cushion them and also keep stress. Like, people don't understand when there's money problems, there's stress problems. Like, when you don't have money and have a way to make ends meet, that's a stressor. And when you're stressed, that probably not one person stressed. That's most people stressing. That means society is stressed. That means crime goes up. I'm like, we gotta think about everything is just not like one straight line. These are multiple intersections where things are happening, and we're lost. Some of us get it, and some of us is not. Some of us is not getting it, and some of us are not seeing it until something happens to us, or something happens to our friend, or our mother's getting old, but I can't really help her. But yeah, if they had this thing when people are retired, you wouldn't have to really help mom that much, right? Because you still have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your family. I'm not saying you won't chip in with some things with your mom, but the burden wouldn't be so much on you. And if your mom moves in with you, you should be able to get a stipend to help you with your rent because your mom still lives there. At the end of the day, she's using water, she's using light, she's eating food. You should get a stipend if that mom's move in with you. And I know they have programs that makes you like, if you take care of your parent, But it's like, depending on give you a certain amount of hours, a person can't just live off those kind of hours. They need more than that. It needs to be more increased. I'm not sure if every state have that program, but I know New York City has that program. Like, if you want to work for your mom and take care of your mom, they give you a little bit of money to do that, right? But in this New York City life, you have to hustle so much. Like, we are hustlers. I know at this point, I think anywhere at this point it's hustling, to be honest, from what I hear on like TikTok. But we are hustling to make it, and it honestly shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way, but here we are. Here we are. When you're a child, you think, oh my gosh, I want to be an adult. And when you get an adult, you're like, I want to be like a child. I want to be a child again. Personally, I don't want to be a child. I would like to be about 21, because that's a legal drinking age. So about 21. But yeah. So it's a lot of things intersection. Like, I think, like I said before, let me say it again. Literally, I can't even say it. I'm gonna bother. But people who are retired, people with disabilities, especially New York City has this program, I forgot. I interviewed a person for this. It's like a long acronym. I forgot. People with disabilities, they get interviewed from, I want to say, very young to like 18, 21, something in that age, and they get the service until basically they cook off kind of thing, and it helps them out, right? But you can also, I believe, they have a adult version of this as you get older. But yeah, people who are old, not just old, retired, people who are disabled, people with children under the age of 24, people in foster care, or youth when they graduate high school. So technically it'd be 17 to 24 in that age range, because if your birthday is late, you're going to graduate at 17. If you skip the grade, it could honestly be 16. So maybe 16 would be probably the buffer age in case you did skip a grade. But normally kids graduate at 17 and 18 years old. In New York City, I know other states have different rules, but we do it by a year that you're born here in New York City, and not like a cutoff. People do like September and up. I'm like, that's crazy to me. Just do the year; it makes life easier. But yes, that's definitely my thing. I feel like I'm missing out other stuff. It could be a loophole in it too. If you was homeless in the past 5 years, you automatically get it for the next city first is 5 years, probably like the next 10 years to really get on your feet. I feel like after you come out of shelter, the first 2 to 3 years is like a buffer period. Like some people, they snap back very easily, they good. Some people like myself who had never experienced the world before this, like I experienced it, but not the housing version. So it took me a very long time, even though I'm in NYCHA. And I feel like I was in a regular world, it'd be much different. But and I feel like I'm still not an adult. I live in NYCHA. I feel like I'm still in the projects. I mean, in shelter. So, yeah. So I feel like if you just came out of shelter, like some people credit is horrible. People are in DV situations, so their credit has definitely got messed up from everything. Like not all the time, but sometimes you have financial problems when you're in DV, right? Or you have to leave everything behind, so you have to end up buying everything back. That's also put you in a financial bind, right? These are all these elements of these things. People with DV should get this, which is domestic violence. What other people I think should, like, to me, certain things should be automatically qualified. And also, if you make under a certain amount, I feel like people honestly under 100K in my mind, because people say 100K is a lot, but it's really not that. If you think about all the money you get in general and how much things cost, I feel like most people, they don't make that much, but it's a struggle. I think people like that should get that automatically. So that would take off a big load off of people's backs. And when people are happy, they do better. They work better. Things function better. Like, example, when they was giving out the checks in ONA, right? And for the parents who's doing that, where did the money go? People are trying to go debt free. When they give the parents the extra little income, like money for the kids, that money's going towards food, rent. Like most people from what I see and like what it shows, that money helped out so many people to get out of poverty. Like that tells you a lot that the country needed this, right? And it shouldn't be a whole attack on our human, like a sickness happening to tell you this. We knew we were struggling and nobody wanted to help until something bad happened. And we're like, oh, yeah, we should help them now. The money, technically, when you give people money, it goes right back into the economy. That means it's helping mom and pop stores. It's helping big business. It's helping America, right? America. And America, like I could tell you, if I had the money, I would. I'm a consumer at all. I'm fully a consumer. I'm gonna buy. And you have to buy. Because certain things you have to buy. If you're gonna brush your teeth clean, I know some countries don't believe in that. But keep your teeth clean, deodorant. You have to get hair. If you're a black girl like myself, you have to get your hair done. You have to lotions, but you gotta have eczema. Like these are things we don't think about what adds up after a while. You need. If you're a child, they always want a Band-Aid. Whether they got something or not. Like these are things you automatically gonna need, right? As a parent, as a person, to live, to drink. I get water sent to my house because the water in NYCHA, I'm not drinking that. I'm out the pipe unless I boil it, and I feel like it just. I grew up on boiled water in New York City though. New York City have like one of the cleanest waters in America. For what they say, who really knows at this point? I don't know. I don't do the back. I just get water. Poland Springs, what it means to be from Maine. But anyway, so this is what's going on right now, right? So let's get back to let me get back on my topic. And tell me if you like this kind of podcast too. Like, so when I don't have a guest, I think of a topic, or you can give me a topic, and I could just talk about it, and I could give you my idea about what's happening, right? But yes, what do you think an ideal voucher would be, and how can it help everyone, not just a certain demographic? Or we hit only for veterans, only for this, and I believe veterans should automatically get it also too. That's not like. We need to do better. Like, how you do fight a whole bid for the country and they don't. I'm not saying they don't get help you at all. I know they get some for school. They get a lot of different benefits. But I think what it is, people not educated properly when they leave, or because they're so damaged like they don't know. Like, you have to do better to keep up with your people. They can't be doing all this work for you and you just not. And some people, they come out. I know people who are in it and they come out and they loved it. Like, and they got the accolades, all that stuff. And some people come out and their life is broken apart. So everybody's story is not the same. And we have to take in consideration of this. On like, your story might have been successful coming out of the service, but other people are not as good. And they have long-term effects of what's happening to them. And it's hard, when you have a long-term effect of something happens to you, it's hard to get services. Not technically hard. You could probably get it easy if you just know what to do, but it's just so much happening that everything gets done by the wayside and they end up becoming homeless or something like that, right? So yes, but anyway, If you need help in going to shelter, if you need any advice of anything, I would say definitely come here and I can help you the best of my ability. If you need to shelter transfers, as you know, sometimes they're supposed to give you, they're supposed to give you, not just sometimes, they're supposed to give you a shelter near your home. I mean, near your school of your youngest child, from kindergarten to 12th, right? So if you only have one kid who's only 12th grade, but if you have multiple kids and the youngest child is in second grade, they're going to go by that school, right? If you have that, I can help you get, if they put you in the Bronx, you're supposed to be in Queens, I can help you get transferred to another one. I personally don't do it, but we had a guest on here before. Her name was Jennifer. She helps you with that kind of stuff. So if you do need stuff like that, if you need a child advocate, I got you. That particularly is not my job, but I do advocate for kids in general. But they have people who actually is a child advocate who does this job, right? So if you definitely need help in those kind of ways, I would love to help you. I would love to put into you and make sure that you are good. That's what we're here for. We have new other things on the back end. You know, I know you don't hear me doing these things all the time. We have things on the back end happening, and we're trying to really make this family homelessness not be as big, and that make sure that we are helping as much as we can and to make a difference in people's lives. And it's hard out here for a lot of people struggling and things like that. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting help as best as I can. So thank you for coming to listen to Hear Our Voices. Again, tell me if you like this. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And yeah, talk to you later. Bye.